if you had to break up or leave someone you love, I know you don't get much coverage on the platforms. It really not geared towards your particular position. So I know it's very hard to find support, but I do want to talk a little bit more about this because it's really important. And this is for the breakups where, you really brought the problems to attention. You tried to talk about it, deal with it, whatever the issues were, maybe trust issues, whatever they were, you came to the conclusion that you had to break this relationship off. You're going to battle, and you're going to battle alone, because a lot of times people around you are not going to understand the decision you made, because while you're grieving, people might look at you like, well, why are you so sad? Almost like you don't have a right to grieve because you made that decision. But if you came to that decision over time and you got up the courage, and let me tell you, it takes courage to leave someone who you love. This is not one of those impulse choices that sometimes people make. And I don't want to get this breakup confused with when someone has something going on in their life and they make an impulsive decision to break up with their partner when they had a pretty good foundation. I'm talking about the kind of breakup that you come to over time, that you don't have other things going on in your life. This is the focus of what's going wrong and what is the problem. And you made that courageous decision to go in the other direction. You're going to battle not only the grief and feeling like you don't have the support that you would love to have, but you're also going to have some guilt wrapped up in that, because you're going to feel like you left this person and you broke their heart, and you're going to see them grieve probably at a pretty deep level. And so you are going to really feel as though, was there any other way? Like, I feel like, how could I do this to this person? But you have to keep coming back to the fact that you probably presented the problems to this person over time. You probably tried to work a lot of this out. They weren't getting there. So I always like the quote, if nothing changes, nothing changes. So start to take the perspective of, I did what I could do to get the relationship where it needed to be. It didn't get there. Now the other alternative is, you break that all the way down to the foundation. You walk away from this relationship and you break it all the way down. And the only way it's going to come back together again is if you both decide to build on that foundation something better, stronger, healthier, when you both decide. Because this could be the push that person needed. That person wasn't making the changes. They weren't. They maybe didn't realize how serious the problems were. So now you've given yourself a chance, and you've given them a chance to realize, hey, crap, like, this is serious. This is not working. They are no longer tolerating this relationship as is. I either have to do better, or they are going to find better. So this could be the start of something wonderful. If that's the way it's going to go, you have to look at it almost like a win-win, because if this person cannot get to where you need them to be to have that healthy relationship that lasts a lifetime, this is kind of freeing you to go find that somewhere else. So there was a reason you couldn't sit there any longer. You had to make that break. You had to make that call. Look at it like the best chance you could possibly have. Don't look at it like so final, like you made this big decision. Now everybody's heartbroken. This is the end of the line, and nothing better is going to be on the horizon. Something much better is going to be on the horizon, even if it's with this person, because they can't come back at that level. You cannot come back at that level. You took every bit of courage that you had to walk away from that. You could have sat there forever. We can sit and settle in relationships for years. People do it every day. But where is that getting you? Is it getting you happiness, contentment, a nice, healthy relationship where everybody is feeling fulfilled and getting to their highest self, their getting to their best within that relationship? Something spoke to you, and probably for a little bit of time. So are you going to grieve? Absolutely. You may grieve harder than most, because this is not something you chose, first of all. It really is, but you were kind of pushed into that decision. And also, you're not going to have the support around you. Usually when someone gets broken up with, there's a ton of support, because I don't want to say you were like the victim of it, but in essence, you kind of were. So a lot of people will rally around you. You kind of get a huge amount of support, even on social media, with friends, family, everybody around you. When you make the decision to have the breakup, you're not going to get the support that you deserve. You're just not. People are not going to be as on board as you think, because they think you were the cause. You did it. if you want to change things, get back in the relationship. They're going to feel like you hold the cards. No, this is your call. You made it. You walked away. So, but you walked away for very good reason, and you did it with a lot of thought. And so a lot of times you won't get what you need. You will feel that guilt. You will feel like you walked away from someone. And sometimes you're dealing with someone who, you know, a lot of people in their life have kind of walked out, and you don't want to be the one to do that. But here you are doing just that. But remember, you're not abandoning this relationship. You are walking away for the sole purpose of either something better one way or the other. So don't look at it like you're walking away from this person to hurt them. You're walking away from this relationship as is. You're not walking away from a person per se. You're walking away from a relationship that isn't working. And what can be born out of that? You're giving yourself a chance. You're giving yourself a chance. You're giving them a chance. So start to change that whole perspective. First of all, you can feel sorry for yourself. You can grieve the crap out of this relationship coming to an end. But also look at it like a rebirth, because something has a chance now to be reborn. Nothing was changing there. Nothing. You know, I don't know how long you were in that relationship, but you know, as many conversations as you had, nothing was changing. Sometimes we have to make those big moves. We have to blow something up in order for it to come back together better than it was before. Look at this as your rebirth. You've given yourself a chance. You have courage that a lot of us don't have. A lot of us stay in the relationship until they break up with us. You know, even though we should have walked 1,000 times, you had the courage to do what a lot of people can't do. So pat yourself on the back a little bit and say, you know what? I know this is the hardest thing I've ever done. I miss this person with all my heart. But that relationship as is wasn't working. Now we have a chance. We have a chance. I have a chance. You have to look at it with that perspective. You gave both of you a chance to do better and be better. You have to grab that. You have to grab it, and don't listen to the noise outside of you. You know what you had to do. Only you know what you went through in that relationship. You know the amount of chances you gave. You know what it is that you need in your life to get to a better place, So when you're going through the breakup that you chose, you had to walk away from someone who you love. You're going to have a lot more challenges than most, a lot, and you're not going to get as much support as you think you are. Support yourself. You made a courageous decision. Like I said, a lot of us wish we could have made that decision and didn't, and don't, and stay where we're not fulfilled. So you did something courageous. Look at it like that. You gave yourself the best chance of having something better, and be okay with that. Be okay with listening to yourself, moving on that, and the courage that takes, unbelievable. You just set yourself up for greatness. You set yourself up for a chance at greatness. Be happy that you did that. Know that this was the thing to do, and just see where this path takes you. Take one step at a time. You don't know the future. You can't predict what's going to happen with the person that you just broke up with, what's going to happen with you, where you're both going to be in a few months from now, a few years from now. You don't know. But like I said, it's a win-win. You have to look at it like a win-win. As hard as it is, as sad as you're going to grieve like everybody else. This is not, just because you made that decision doesn't mean it's going to be easy, which people think it is. They think because you chose it, this should be easy. No, and I don't have to tell you, this is going to be the hardest thing maybe you've ever done, but you gave yourself a chance. If nothing changes, nothing changes. Nothing was changing. You changed it up. You changed it up. Now see what happens. See who rises to this occasion. You keep rising. You keep bettering yourself. Rebuild that life, and the right person is going to be there and meet you there. They're going to meet you there. So trust the decision you just made, and you got this. Look, I'm going to support you. I'm going to support the crap out of you. So I know it was tough. I know that decision was one of the hardest you've ever made, but you have my support. You have the support of a lot of people out there. So don't feel like you're alone. You're not. You're never alone here. So I'm hoping for the best for you. The best.